Hello, and welcome back to the weekly Oracle card reading with Kylie Savage, Psychic Medium. Now, you're here because you're seeking spiritual support, guidance, and assistance so that you can go into the week coming up feeling fabulous, understanding what the energies are going to be, and to receive a prescription for how to best work with them so that you can have a fabulous week. I find so much benefit from these weekly readings. It gives me something to focus on, a bit of structure, a little bit more direction, and I can really understand what I'm learning, how I'm learning it, and how to get the best out of my week. It's really important to go with the flow, to not fight the things that are out there, just to understand where we can be proactive, where we can use our power and our agency so that we can have the best week possible and co-create the most amazing life with spirit. Now, I'm really glad you're here because this week is a doozy. We have so much going on. So for the Northerners, you have Halloween. And for us Southerners, we have Beltane. Now, those two Sabbats are quite similar in some ways, that the veil between the two worlds, the spiritual dimension and the physical dimension, is a lot thinner. The thing about, if you're a Southern witch, the thing about Beltane is sometimes the veil is thin and mischievous spirits can be in the air. So be very careful what you wish for this week and if you're doing any magical work on Beltane. Okay, so Halloween's on the 31st of October and I'm wishing all my northern friends a fabulous time. And in Australia, Halloween has just become so popular that for us Southerners, it's best not to fight it, go with the flow. So yes, I'll have trick-or-treaters, I have lolly bags made up, and I'll probably decorate my house a little bit. Last year, it was full on, and it was so much fun. I do feel a little bit sorry for our Australian trick-or-treaters because usually it is so hot. And the thing is too, because we're such a big country and I live in a rural suburb, kids have to be driven around. They don't get to walk around as much. Anyway, stay safe, trick-or-treaters, and definitely come and see me for a lolly bag. All right. The thing about Beltane I want to mention, which fits in with our weekly reading, is Beltane is the Sabbath to celebrate the god Bel. It was about extinguishing the old fires, putting out the hearth fire, and relighting your new hearth fire from the Beltane fires. And I believe in the UK they've started to light the Beltane fires once again. On the passing of Princess Diana, this was done. And I really love it, and it really fits in with our weekly card because it's about letting the past go, about shedding and releasing and extinguishing old dreams, desires, and sometimes old loves so that we can embrace the new. So if you would like to do a tiny little Beltane ritual, you can light a candle and say that represents the past and anything you wish to release. So have that in one colour and then have a different colour candle and light the candle from a different source for the new one. So extinguish the old one, light the new candle. And the new candle represents all your new desires and going forward in your life with fresh dreams and perhaps bringing in a new love. Beltane's a time of fertility, a time of finding new love and consummating it. It's very much about marriage and children and celebrating all that's good in our lives. And, the bringing of the fire, what ignites us, our desires, our motivations, our passions. So I wish all my Southern witches a very happy and very productive, fertile Beltane. If you're trying to conceive a baby, then definitely look into Beltane. Okay, we have a new moon in Scorpio, and that is coming up on the 28th for us Southerners. Now, the new moon in Scorpio is also in the time of Mercury retrograde. Definitely go and check out Yasmin Boland at moonology.com for the lowdown. Plus, Yasmin has a new book out all about Mercury retrograde, which I'm sure is packed full of fantastic information. So check out the astrology experts, find out what's going to happen. Now remember, Scorpio is a fixed sign And it is all about going, very deep. It's the depths, it's the shadow, it's our sexuality, our sensuality, it's our hidden aspects. So when you're looking at your new moon wishes, look at where this new moon will be, in which house for you, and see if you can create new moon wishes which really embrace that, releasing anything or letting anything that's unseen, that's hidden, that's a shadow aspect, letting it come and be bathed in the light. So many things are fitting in beautifully in this period of time. And I hope that I did say that this week that I'm talking about is from the 26th of October to the 1st of November 2019. Oops, if I didn't. Okay, let's look at our cards. So we have 4 cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle, and our anchor card is To Be Fair, and it's in protection. Our second card, our next right action to take, is the Fates, and that's also in protection. Okay, and our third card, which is upright, is No Place Like Home. I really love this card. Okay, now fourth card, which fills in more of the details, gives us more understanding of the whole story. Remember, we're looking at a story in motion, is To the Sea. And then I pulled one card from the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid, and that's Giraffe. And it says, See the Big Picture. And then also one card from the Mystical Shaman Oracle, also by Colette Baron-Reid and Alberto Villoldo. And the other lady's name, I'm sorry, I will put it in the comments. Okay, and that's the Serpent. All right, so let's look at To Be Fair in protection. Now, what this is about is, it's about justice, but I also feel it's about balance. And the big message this week I'm getting from these cards is we need to be proactive and do what we can. Accept what's out of our hands, yet do what we can. Now, we may be called upon to be an advocate for someone this week, to right a wrong, to be supportive of someone or a situation or an organisation or someone who's been disempowered. Even sometimes if that's ourselves or a family member, I feel like because we've got no place like home, matters quite close to our hearts and our homes. So if there's an injustice, we're going to be called upon to do what we can to set things right, to bring things back into balance and to achieve justice. So there are a lot of things too that, pertain to world events, a lot of injustices, a lot of things are coming up from that shadow, from the deep shadow in the conscious, unconscious, our deep collective unconscious, to be righted, to receive justice, to be illuminated. We need to know about these things so that we can right the wrongs. One aspect I thought of, which is kind of like a world event, is Uluru. So they have stopped people climbing the rock. And for a long time, it was very disturbing to the Indigenous people of that area. They did not want people climbing the rock. And it was a great injustice to this tribe and to their culture and the traditions and their stories and their dreaming. And it was very, very disrespectful. And they fought to get people to not climb the rock. And finally now, justice has been served and people are not going to climb the rock. So what did people do just before the last day? You could climb the rock, and on the last day you could climb the rock. They went crazy. They were pushing each other over the way, being dangerous and being rude and, trying to have this one last experience, which was so disrespectful. We're living in a time where the polarities are so extreme and intense that we really need to find the balance. The middle way is what's being lost. So perhaps if you're being an advocate for someone else, bring about justice, you could be this calm, sure voice of reason and the middle ground. You may be a mediator for somebody, but just because it's about balance. The other thing is, if you felt like your life has been totally out of whack lately, last week we talked about catastrophizing. I felt it so intensely this week. If you feel like your mental energy is being drained, your physical energy is being drained, we need to be proactive and do what we can, up-level the self-care to bring ourselves back into balance this week. To, right the wrongs, Right, the injustices where we haven't treated ourselves the best this week or we've been suffering. So we need to, self-soothe, do what we can in healthy ways to restore ourselves to balance in mind, body, and spirit. Meditation has been a godsend. If you've watched these videos, I talk a lot about mantra meditation, and that's fantastic. Prayer, meditation, walking, changing up the routine. Do what you can. That's a big message this week. Okay, looking at the fates. So when the fates are in protection, that one message I get with this is not to get disheartened and go, oh, what's the point? It's what's fated. It's what it's meant to be, and I can't fight it. It's not about fighting things. Remember, we've got go with the flow, so it's really not about resisting things. Remember, what you resist persists. When you see the fates in protection, it's about accepting the things you cannot change, and yet, the Serenity Prayer has several parts. We only use the first stanza of it. It's the courage to change the things you can. So yes, some things are fated, but some things are out of our control, way out of our control, and there is nothing we can do about them. That's not where our energy is best spent, trying to resist what we can't change. Our energy is best spent by changing the things we can, and the prayer is, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So I really feel like this card is saying, be intuitive, trust yourself, no place like home, bring it all here. What is your heart telling you? Listen to your intuition. What is your psychic vision and your gut instinct? What are they telling you? Take action on that. Inspired action in the spirit. Okay, and don't think that things are out of your control. Not everything is out of your control. Be proactive, do what you can. Okay, no place like home. Most often, if we keep the focus on ourselves, we are naturally led to some action that we can take. Something that's going to bring us back into alignment, bring us back into balance. And I really feel like matters of the home and the heart are so huge at the moment. And we have Beltane as well. So as you said, we might be letting go and releasing an old love or an old dream or an old desire. Really focus on desires. Sometimes we have wishes and desires and things, and they're not healthy, or we can't take any action on this time, so extinguish them. Do that little candle ceremony and understand that it's a shedding time, a time to release things, and a time to be real about what's healthy and okay to have in our lives and what's not. So bring it all back home, be authentic, be real, look within your own circle, your own family. Perhaps people in your family need you to support them, stand up for them this week, and really be the beacon of light and help them to shed and release and let go of old things and to be ignited by the new fires, new desires, and new dreams. Hope is something that is kind of in short supply at the moment. And if hope is not something that you really that really helps you, then think of faith, and even having faith in yourself, faith in your ability to be a co-creator, faith in your ability to change the things that you can. Look to the home as well. Perhaps there's decluttering to do, the shedding. We need to let go of a lot of the old stuff, and then we can make room for the new. Remember too, if one area of your life is really not working, perhaps it's time to put it down for now. To let go, let Goddess, and shift our focus. Let's get excited about new things. It's really the best week to start thinking about this and taking some action. Okay, to the sea. The other message I get with this card is, it is about going with the flow, but I want you to not feel anchorless. I want you to feel deeply grounded this week. There is a lot going on. There's so much in the universal energies going on. It can be pretty intense and it's very deep. I want for you to, like with No Place Like Home, I want for you to be your anchor. What are your daily routines and rituals which help you feel grounded, supported, and connected? So for me, it's daily prayer and meditation. I like to bookend my prayer and meditation. I do the 3rd step prayer because I was in a 12-step program. Every day I make a decision to turn my life and my will over to the care of God, Goddess, as I understand her. So to the seers, you may feel rudderless and anchorless and out at sea this week. You may feel awash with the energies. Some of you are so sensitive, so empathic, that you're really struggling in these intense energies. There's so much change around us. Some of you are like newborns. You're waking up, becoming spiritually awake and aware, and you can't find your feet. It's an intense and overwhelming time. Do things like grounding rituals, tapping, prayer and meditation, talk to a friend, see a therapist, get outside, use physical exercise, use things that put you in your body and help you to process what's going on. Okay, so stay grounded, stay in the now. Giraffe, I love this, especially when we're talking about Beltane. Giraffe, the message is, well, there are a few messages that I get with this. It does say, see the big picture. We need to rise above what's going on at the moment. There's a lot of low-level intense energy. You know, looking at the shadow with New Moon Scorpio, stuff from the past is coming up to be healed. Like the whole, collective of humanity's like dirt and rubbish is coming up to be healed. And I really feel like it's the sensitive, open, intuitive, aware people who are shedding it for the people who won't. We're becoming more spiritually fit and clean. You know, the slate's being wiped clean from the old karma. Remember, I feel like, and I've talked about before, we're going to be moving beyond karma, beyond that cyclic birth, death, rebirth. We're moving beyond this, and a lot of people are talking about that, embracing the 5th and 6th and 7th dimensions, shedding even the physical body and no longer having any need for it. So it's an amazing time, yet we need to get perspective. We need to understand that we can be in this world but not of it. And we need to take the higher ground, the higher perspective, which is going to help with the justice and the bringing the balance. So a lot of detachment with love. The other thing about Giraffe, I really did like this message. Giraffe is about, they go along the tops of the trees and they only like to eat the newest shoots. So it's like, whatever you're choosing that is new, capitalize on that. Be single-mindedly focused on the new stuff in your life, the new dreams, the new goals that you'd like to achieve, the new things you're working towards, and pick those off and enjoy those, digest those. Because this is where all, your best energy and your best opportunities are available, and you can capitalize on it now. The other thing is, especially if we do need to go to bat for someone, be an advocate, get justice for someone who's experiencing an injustice and can't do that for themselves. We need to stick our neck out, right out, and take some risks. We need to be seen. That's what No Place Like Home is saying as well. Be seen, be visible, be authentic, be yourself. So, great message from Giraffe. Stick your neck out. Under grace, in a perfect way. Serpent. Serpent and the mystical shaman the message is a little bit different. Oh, I think it was in protection. Also, sorry, I didn't show that. So it means that we need to receive the medicine when these cards are in protection. And the medicine is not to be seduced. So unlike the old Adam and Eve myth, the serpent's wrapped around the tree and it tells Eve, eat the apple, eat the apple. And she becomes sort of seduced by the serpent and its message. So we need to not be seduced by ourselves. We need to keep it real this week. Even if our reality is a little bit harsh and we don't want to digest it, we don't want to look at it. We really need to also understand what dreams and goals and ambitions and what projects need to die a death. They need to be shed and they need to be let go because they're really not serving us. I feel like we need to really get clear on our focus this week and going forward. We can't serve all the people in all the ways. So we need to, get down, understand our niche, understand our unique gifts and abilities and the unique service that we can make available to others. Who are we and what can we offer? And how can we offer it in the best way So streamlining things. So it is a shedding, it is transformation, it is growth, but I feel like it's shedding what's unnecessary, what's extraneous, and what gets in the way of our true message and of us being of, real service to others, empowering them, offering them guidance, assistance, and support. So let's look at what's real this week. Get rid of anything that's not. So I said it was going to be a huge week. It absolutely is. And I'm trusting that you've got something out of all these readings, if not a lot. If you would like to discuss anything that came up in the readings, please drop a comment in there or send me an email. You can stalk me on my socials. I'm on Facebook, Kylie Savage Psychic Medium. I'm on Instagram, Kylie_Savage_Psychic Medium. I'm on email, and I also have a website, which is kyliesavagepsychic.com.weebly. I think, .com. Mixed up my .coms there. If you put me in the searching in Google, my page will come up. Please get in touch. Let me know how you went with last week, and let me know how you went with this week. I also do Facebook Lives, usually around Saturdays, sometimes Sundays. I always give a warning post now before I'm doing them. If you would like your own mini oracle card reading, jump on the Facebook Live. You have to get in there, first in, first served. I'm also going to be using the Facebook Lives as a teaching platform. So ask me questions. What do you want to know about? Oracle cards, how to best work with the energies through oracle cards, psychic development, healing, spiritual phenomenon, ghosts, anything. I'd love to talk to you about it. Okay, so many blessings on your week. It's going to be huge. Take good, excellent care of yourself, actually. See you then.